Alright, Ted. Remember, ice doesn't like ketchup on her hot dogs, and fire doesn't like mustard on hers. What about Wonder Woman? Wonder Woman won't eat hot dogs. Perfect woman, my butt. And Zatanna doesn't want any relish on hers. What about Batman? What doesn't he like? Batman? Batman doesn't like poor people. What is up? How's the Legion of Comic Collectors doing today? Well, today we have some real cool stuff. Some stuff from eBay, a trip to Tatertot comics, and some stuff I found at a used bookstore, including at least what I consider to be a pretty awesome Grail that we'll show at the end. So this is something I already had. This is a Catwoman 39 variant, and I believe this was like the third version of it, the cheaper version, but I managed to get, this is the second print. I guess that's a virgin variant, even with this little bit of stuff down here. But the second print, white. The first one we saw was purple. And then we have the first print. This would be the 1 in 25 Sozu Maka incentive variant. Love this cover since it came out, and it's finally gotten down around where it's cheap enough to pull the trigger on. I had been watching these for a while, and if you watch stuff on eBay, you'll eventually get a good offer from somebody. So super happy to now have all three versions of the cover. Very, very cool. I also picked up, we have another Jenny Friesen. Maybe one of my just favorite Jenny Friesen Harley covers. Really, really like this cover. And it came with a freebie. That being a Batman 46B cover. I was sort of hoping, because I hate spending money on Tom King Batman, that this would be an issue I don't have. And I have this issue, but I had the A cover, so kind of cool nonetheless. So, if you know me, you know I had a bit of a logo foil addiction a couple years ago. Way back when me and Comic Fu were collecting all of the Superman 75 variants. Superman 75 sort of being the first logo cover. And the Platinum is like my favorite comic. So I just sort of have a thing for logo foils and any kind of 90s gimmicks in general. This is the Green Arrow, and weirdly enough, it's a reprint. I thought this would be like the new current Green Arrow, but it's a reprint of the Kevin Smith #1 from way back when, which is kind of wild. Alright, so we went to, I'm going to show these backwards. Believe it or not, my wife and kids actually begged me to go to Tatertot's Comics. I didn't even want to go. And you probably think I'm just pulling your leg, but they had got some, the kids had got some Crocs, of all things, from their grandma. And at Tatertot Comics, they have the little accessories you could plug into them. So while they were doing that, I looked around. And these were buy one, buy two, get one, I think. We have a Wonder Woman, Sensational Wonder Woman special. A Wonder Woman 75th anniversary. And then I found some Jenny Friesen Wonder Woman. I have quite a few of these, but there's a ton of Friesen Wonder Woman. Another issue. Looking through the dollar bin that gave me nightmares before, I did find an entire run of Young Justice, including the final issue, the one issue I needed. This is a series that actually made it onto my goals list because it was something I literally picked up new as it came out. And I had no idea there was a 20th issue. I guess at the time my LCS never got it. So it sort of bothered me, and it wasn't something I really wanted to pay $7, $10, $15 online to order. Wanted to find it cheaply in a dollar bin, and finally did. And then I grabbed a couple other wall books because they were running a percentage off of anything over $10. And actually found a couple issues I wanted. I mean, by no means 9.8 candidates, but they display perfectly well. I'll be able to read them. And this is the first appearance of Shaggy Man. Actually a villain I really do enjoy. Although probably the version I enjoy most is from the JLA Grant Morrison run. But this is Justice League of America 45. First appearance of Shaggy Man. And they also had 2 issues earlier. Issue 43. Another group of villains I really enjoy. Actually, probably more from Batman Beyond. But still, we have the first appearance of the Royal Flush Gang. So a couple pretty cool little keys. And then I didn't have enough books for the buy 2 get 1. So I went back, grabbed this as he was ringing me out, because I remembered seeing it, and it looked really, really clean. It's just a cover that catches your eye. I would collect Sergeant Rock if it wasn't so pricey, but for free, I will definitely grab this book. And then the last thing I picked up, one good thing about this store is it's closer to my home, in between home and my wife's work. The bad thing is they do not seem to update their inventory very much at all. Like, I think they've been around, we're probably coming up on a year that I've known about them, and they've maybe updated their inventory, like a big inventory update once. But they had a couple short boxes of stuff out, and I saw this. Speaking of the goals list, a big series I'm after is, this is DC 100 Page Spectacular issue 5. It started at issue 4 and went through issue 22. And this is, of course, a facsimile, but I do not care because this and the issue before it just seem to be going crazy on eBay. So if I could pick up a cheap facsimile, that is perfectly fine with me. And that's all from Tatertot. Another mail call that goes with this. I already had this coming. I missed out on a really great deal on Instagram. There was a guy that had a complete set of DC 100 Page Spectacular. But a complete set is more money than I usually have to spend on comics, or would even be willing to spend. Was watching this guy post these up every week, not sell them. And the second he decided to split them up, they sold instantly, and I missed them. And I mean, he had a fantastic price on this book. This book, you do not see very many listings. And you will see this book just destroyed, being listed for hundreds of dollars. I don't know why. I know it is a Bernie Wrightson cover. I don't know why that would create such demand for this. But this was the cheapest issue I'd been watching that wasn't completely destroyed. And the person finally sent me a dirt cheap offer, so I jumped on it. So super happy to add this. This is issue 4, but technically issue 1. So super happy to add these. And we'll move on. The last little bit before we get to the Grail at the end, I went to a used bookstore and grabbed a couple books. We have Green Lantern Emerald Dawn issue 5. You would probably think to yourself that I would have this book, and I do. This was one of the handful of Green Lanterns I had as a kid, including my favorite one, a fantastic action-packed story in this issue. But the copy I had is the copy I've had since I was a kid, and this is a fantastic shaped copy. So having come across it, I grabbed it. Don't find Batman like this that I need very often. Issue 343. Super happy to find that. They had a Green Arrow 80th anniversary, as well as Dark Crisis Worlds Without a Justice League Green Arrow one-shot. And then a couple Superman. We have Superman Volume 1, issue 353. And then I couldn't believe I didn't have this. I think it's one of those that you see the cover so much, you just think you have it. But I did not have Action 571. And it is a fantastic cover. I'm glad to add it. And then, almost there. Now this is pretty cool. Got this super cheap. A lot of these logo foils were about 30 bucks each plus shipping when they come out. And I've been finding all these logos you've been seeing are cheaper. It really seems like the only ones that have really held value are like the gold and silver foil variants. There's literally only one listing of the gold, and it's in a lot for like $3,500. But this one's interesting. This is from the Comic Mint. This is a Golden Age logo of a Superman annual. The only way you could get this is Comic Mint had come out with 5 sort of matching logo variants of Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, and the Flash. So you had to buy all of those at once. And then you would get this as a freebie. And I forget, there was only like so many, like, this is a pretty low print book. And that was about the time that I was getting sick of logo variants and having a lot of trouble with big-time collectibles. I mean, I think the last thing I bought from them, it took forever, like half a year, 9 months or something to get the books, and they never responded to messages or anything. So did not get involved with this, but I'm super happy to have picked this up for less than you would have paid for one of these logo foils new. So yeah, I am on a mission to track down all of the logo foils, so we'll see. Like I said, a lot of them are just dirt cheap compared to what they would have been buying them new. So the last thing, if you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen it. But we talk about watching things and eventually getting a deal. This is a book I never thought I would have, that I ended up getting the day I completed Harley Quinn Volume 1. And that is Harley Quinn New 52 number 1. And this is like the Adam Hughes cover. You know I'm a big Adam Hughes, Jenny Friesen cover fan. So super, super happy to add this. And it is a 9.6. So super, super happy to add that to the collection. So yeah, a lot of really cool books picked up over the last couple weeks here. A nice solid haul. I do have a room tour video up if you're interested in such a thing. And a lot of cool shorts. I would love to hear from you in the comments and get your subscription if you're not already subscribed. And with that, guys, I'll see y'all later.